Hi, my name is Ryan. Welcome to my channel. We're going to be discussing the American Christmas Classic book, kind of the main idea of the book, if you will, and also get a little bit into the characters that are in the book. I don't want to give too many details because my main hope out of the book is that there'll be lots of plot twists, there'll be lots of things you don't expect. You're going to be surprised, maybe appalled, hopefully not appalled, but I want you to be able to have some sort of sensation where you get to the next chapter, you're like, what is going to happen? What's going to happen? What's going to happen? So I'm trying to be very cautious that I don't lose that spirit of just the constant turmoil and things are always changing and you never know what's going to happen from one page to the next. Not something where it's like where it's so predictable on what's going to take place. So I'm trying to my best to give you some information on what's in the book without telling you too much about what's going to happen in the book. All right, so I have a blurb that's going to go on the description on the websites and Amazon, but I'm just going to give you my take on it so that instead of just reading from a file, because y'all didn't come here to watch me read, that's kind of lame, I think. And plus, like I said, these are going to be unedited, totally honest, unabridged videos right here for you. I mean, I'm drinking coffee. Like, how many people on YouTube sit there and drink coffee when they're making videos? I know I am. Someone's like, you should be drinking coffee on YouTube. I was like, well, you know what? Watch this. I just drank some coffee on YouTube. All right. Now, so the main idea of the story is it's a Christmas story. If you didn't get that figured out by now, then I've totally failed you as a YouTube presenter. All right. So it's a Christmas story, and the premise of the story is it's written after the fact. Okay. So it's written by the main character after the fact. His name's Jose. No, Jose. His name's Pedro. Okay. His name's Pedro. And so Pedro is the main character. And Pedro, it's written in a first person perspective. And Pedro is basically saying, starting off the books, like, hey, look, this is my story. This is what I experienced on this Christmas adventure of mine, and here it is. I'm so glad to be able to present it to you, and da 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 da. All right, so that's kind of the premise of the book. Like, that's how it's presented to you. Okay, it's all after the fact, and it's all something that you'll know that you kind of know how it ends, maybe. And then it's just kind of presented to you like this is the story that he's telling of what happened on his little Christmas adventure. Okay, so Pedro, let's get into the characters. Pedro is a law enforcement agent, all right, or a law enforcement officer, a Leo for short, okay, and he works at a Supermax prison, and the story takes place in the state of Texas in a town. I don't really give a name of a town. I just kind of make it just kind of blank, you know. I didn't want to really pigeonhole it into a particular town in a certain location, because I'm making this all up, obviously. And on top of that, I was thinking at the time when I wrote this, and this is my take. There's no science behind what I'm saying, but in my mind, I'm like, well, I'm just going to leave it very generic, so that way a person can kind of just imagine around it and kind of build the image inside their head. I'm very big on people kind of coming up with the ideas on their own, and you just kind of put them in the right direction because you want people to discover things. I'm a huge proponent of what they call like the higher cognitive development type theories, like Bloom's taxonomy, where you get people to start using their personal background knowledge, which would be like their content information, their knowledge, and kind of like how they have applied certain information to real world scenarios. But for them to be able to, like, you know, kind of synthesize and evaluate the data given to them and come up with their own kind of perspective on things or develop their own paradigm as they move forward. Okay, so that was my take on this. I was like, I don't want to give too much detail because I don't want to like lock them into my idea of what it is. I want the reader to have some ownership with that. Okay, so Jose works at a Supermax prison, and you know, it's just I try to paint the best perspective of a prison as you possibly can. I've never been to prison, so I really don't know what it's like. Okay, I know you're probably out thinking, you're like, what? They're like, surely you've been to prison, right? No, I haven't been to prison, thankfully, or an insane asylum, which I hope that doesn't happen after writing this book. And Anyhow, it's like, so I didn't really know what it was like in prison. The only perspective I had from prison was going out and doing some research, asking some police officers that I work with, talking to other people, and just kind of just go out on the internet and read, just find out what it's like. But I didn't want to know too much because the book's not about prison, okay? But he just works at a prison. Why did I pick a prison? I don't know. It seemed like a good idea. I wanted a police officer or a law enforcement officer to be the character just because, I don't know. It just seemed like a good idea. And then that's what I rolled with. Okay. So there's really no science. Again, that's the second time I said that. So, law enforcement officer, Jose, he works at a Supermax prison. In case you don't know, a Supermax prison, that's like the worst prison of the prisons. That's where they send the really, really bad actors. Okay. That's not a good situation. But I try to make it kind of fun where I gave it a perspective of what the prison's like in the office, where all the officers are hanging out, like what they're doing on their regular daily business, how they interact with each other. And I kind of give it some levity. Not that prison is funny, but I mean, this is a book, okay? So, it's supposed to be a fun book. So I add some levity. He's working at a prison. And so Jose, his real passion, though, is Christmas lights. He's really into Christmas lights. And I got the idea for him being into Christmas lights from that TV show, the Christmas Light Wars or the Christmas Light Battles or wherever it is where they're always doing the big Christmas spectacle and everybody's like showing up and they're all raising hell about Christmas lights and going crazy. And they're like, yeah, whoa, people are just losing their minds out there over Christmas lights. When I used to hang up Christmas lights, I would just be impressed that they turned on, or if I didn't fall off the ladder and die. Okay, that was my idea of a good Christmas light hanging experience. They turn on and I didn't die. Okay, or the house didn't catch on fire. I was like, boom, Christmas lights are done. I honestly don't even know why. Why don't they just build freaking LED strips into all the paneling on the house, so you don't even have to go freaking hang up lights, right? I mean, they got the technology to do that. It doesn't cost that much money. I hang LED lights up all the time. They're all over the place. It's like they're everywhere. They're behind the TV, behind the computer over here. They're all over the ceiling, so we get that movie theater feel. I put them in the kitty litter box. I mean, who knows where else I put those things, okay? They're really easy to hang up. So that's my speech. If you build houses, think about it. Just think about it. And if you make a lot of money off that, go buy my book. And if you want, send me a Starbucks gift card so I can go buy some black coffee. All right. So Jose loves work on Christmas lights. That's his passion. That's what he's all about. Like, work is work, but the Christmas lights, man, he is all about that. And he is always competing in these Christmas lights shows. So the story's about him getting ready for his big competition. This is the one he's going to go up and start trying to compete in this Christmas light battle. And he has an arch nemesis. And I will tell you all about his arch nemesis in the next video because we are at over 8 minutes and I don't know how long y'all's attention span is. And you may not want to sit here for another 20, 30 minutes talking about Jose and his arch nemesis. All right, so we're going to wrap this up. To recap, Jose, main character, Jose, it's not Jose. I'll tell you why I keep coming with Jose is because that was going to be my other pen name. And it was also my name when I was in Spanish class. And I'm actually going to have another book where the actual character is Jose. And I've been thinking about that and taking notes on it here recently. So that's why Jose's in mine. So erase your memory. The main character's name is Pedro. Okay. I named it after my friend. And you're like, your friend? How cute. Yeah. All right. It is kind of cute. Maybe Pedro will give me a big hug. But, so Pedro works at a Supermax prison. He's got family. He's got a wife. He's got 2 daughters. I don't have a family like he does. Okay, this is all made up. Now, when I see Pedro in my head, when I'm writing it, I actually see myself. Okay, so I see myself as Pedro as I write the book. Okay. However, like I told you about the story of the town where I didn't really want to give too much descriptions of a certain location. Like this takes place in Dallas, Texas, and it happens on the corner of blah 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 blah. Okay, I didn't want that. And same thing with Jose. I just put the name Jose, but I don't go through and describe him. I don't describe him where he looks like me, where he's like, 6'3", 6'4". He's got glasses and brown hair, and he screws around with Apple watches, and he's got a cat named Lieutenant Pickles that destroys furniture. I didn't want that. I didn't want you to have to get painted into a corner. I want the person that's reading the book to actually vision what they think Jose should look like. Maybe he looks like them. Maybe he looks like a family member, or maybe he looks like somebody that they know that is the name is Jose. Or maybe they think he looks like Ryan Reynolds, or Ryan Reynolds. You're like, hey, he's an attractive guy, or Ryan Gosling, right? You're like, there you go. I mean, heck, I'm going to start thinking about Ryan Gosling now. All right, anyhow, so that's Jose in the Christmas lights. He can look like however you want. If you don't like that, I apologize, and maybe I'll change it in the future. I don't know. So thanks again for watching. Stay focused. Keep working hard. Just keep drinking your coffee or tea or water or Dr. Peppers or Diet Cokes, whatever it is. And thanks again for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.